Hi everybody, it's Russell from Ink and Paper Blog. Hope you're doing well today and welcome back to my channel. Couple of things first. One, Ryan from This Charming Ramp got me the cutest t-shirt or tank top for my birthday, so I thought I would show it to you. It says, "Save the chubby unicorns," and it's a rhinoceros. I mean, come on, he knows me. The shirt is adorable. And then second, I want to introduce you guys to the newest member of our family. Come on. This is Miss Dorothy. Say hi, Dorothy. Oh, she's a little feisty this afternoon. She's getting up from a nap, but we rescued her yesterday from the San Jose Animal Shelter, and she is the newest member of our family. So say hi to Dorothy for me. Today I'm going to do a book haul based upon the books I bought with the gift certificate my parents got me for my birthday. They did get me $100 to Barnes & Noble, and of course I spent more than that because I'm a book guy. I tried to buy mainly stuff that I had not heard of or was new to me. However, the first three books I'm going to talk about were on the buy two, get one free table, and they were stuff that I've been meaning to pick up for a while, so I was like, I gotta get them. They're buy two, get one free. So the first one is Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about this book, and there was a fantastic episode of the Book Cougars podcast that I will link below that you guys can listen to. They went and saw Bryan Stevenson out on the East Coast in their neck of the woods and saw him talk. But Just Mercy is a nonfiction book about, let's see, Bryan Stevenson is an attorney who really is fighting against injustice. And children who have been tried as adults for crimes and really are given life sentences when they're 14, 15 years old. And sort of the racism that's within the justice system. So I really am going to leave it to the Book Cougars to tell you about this, or you probably have already heard about it, but I just had to pick it up because it was there. So that's Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. The second book in that list that I got was The Last Painting of Sara DeVos by Dominic Smith. Now, this book was nominated, it may even be, I'm not sure if it's shortlisted, but I know it was longlisted for the Walter Scott Prize for Historical Fiction. Gosh, that took a long time to come out, so I apologize about that. And this is set into two time periods. It's set first in Amsterdam, I think in the mid 1600s, and then actually three time periods. I only thought there were two. New York City in 1957 and Sydney, Australia in 2000. And as you can probably guess, it has something to do with a piece of art, how it's affected in those three different people in those three different eras. And I think what I was so interested in was the fact that it's all about sort of the painting moving through time, but also how it was got received or bought or purchased or not bought or purchased by certain people. I think the cover is really pretty. I did not do a great job of selling that book, but I think you guys should read it. I apologize. That's The Last Painting of Sara DeVos by Dominic Smith, and I'm excited for it, even though I didn't do a great job of selling it. I apologize. And then another nonfiction. Do you see her? She's just a little curious bug. Lab Girl by Hope Jahren. Now, my ex-husband was actually a scientist, so I have dealt with biology labs and science labs for a long part of my life. And this is a sort of a memoir about being part of a lab from this female perspective. And I think she runs her own lab. She's a geobiologist. She studies trees and flowers and seeds. And I think it also has to do with how she intertwines that all into her family and her life and also her science and her career. And I've heard nothing but good things about this. I want to say my friend Emily, again of the Book Cougars, highly recommended this. So that's Lab Girls by Hope Jahren. And I'm really excited about that. So the next books that I'm going to talk about, I'm actually going to read probably a lot of the blurbs to you because I didn't know about them before I picked them up. And I'm excited for them and they excite me. I really think this cover is exciting. This is The Garden of Small Beginnings by Abby Waxman. And it says, "Give grief a chance. Lillian Gervin has been a single mother for 3 years, ever since her husband died in a car accident. One mental breakdown and some random suicide thoughts later, she's just starting to get the hang of the widow thing. At least her textbook illustrating job has some perks, like the gardening class her boss signed her up for. Apparently, being the chosen illustrator for a series of boutique vegetable guides means getting your hands dirty, literally. After recruiting her 2 girls, an insanely supportive sister to join her, Lillian shows up at the Los Angeles Botanical Garden feeling out of her element. But what she'll soon discover, with the help of a patient instructor and a quirky group of gardeners, is that that into every life a little sun must shine, whether you want it or not. So I thought that sounded hopeful, also dealing with grief. There's a lot of books out there right now about being a widow or losing people that you love, and I just thought that sounded really, I'm hoping, heartwarming. And I'm really interested in how people can use something like gardening to heal themselves. So, The Garden of Small Beginnings by Abby Waxman. The next book I picked up and I read the inside, and it was really inspired by Jean over at Jean's Bookish Thoughts, and that is House of Names by Colm Toibin. Now, I have read a few of his books as well. I think I've read Brooklyn. There was a movie based on Brooklyn that had some Oscar acclaim. Maybe not last year, but the year before. And this book is actually based on a story of antiquity. So that's why I thought of Jean. And it is the story of Agamemnon. And let me see here. It says, I have been acquainted with the smell of death. So begins Clymestra's side of the story. The raging, grieving mother who plots the murder of her husband, King Agamemnon, on his return from war. Now, I don't know much about the Agamemnon tale, and I thought just with how Jean has made me sort of excited to get back into those classic stories, and also such a fantastic writer taking that on sounded really exciting for me. So I went ahead and bought it, and that is The House of Names by Colm Toibin, and I'll tag Jean's latest video where she talks about classic literature as well, just in case it's something you're interested in. The next book was inspired by Mercedes over at Mercy's Musings. She talked a lot about this book, The Lost Daughter Collective by Lindsey Drager. And this book it actually is interesting because I opened it and it's really short. It's very different. It has pictures and drawings and all sorts of stuff. And it says, every woman was once a girl and every girl was once a daughter. For every woman in the world, there will always be laughter and slaughter. I mean, come on. That just catches you. I know Mercedes said that this is a book that you're going to read and you're going to have to think about a lot and probably reread portions of it. So I thought it sounded interesting. I think that blurb is fantastic. And so I bought it. The Lost Daughter Collective by Lindsey Drager. Okay. Just 2 more for you. One, I'm just going to show you the cover because it is gorgeous. And this is The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan. And I actually had picked this book up before thinking I was going to buy it. But this is about an older man, I can't remember his name, Anthony Perdue, who is a keeper of lost things. He collects items that people lose and keeps them in his house. And when he goes to pass, he leaves them all to his assistant. And so she has all this stuff that are really keys to other people's histories. So I thought that sounded really interesting. I didn't want to get too much into the plot of it because I just want to be surprised, but I'm assuming these things are going to lead her on adventures where she learns about people and kind of their pasts and maybe even their presents and futures. So that's The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan, and I'm really excited about it, and I think the cover is beautiful. And then, last but not least, this is Before We Sleep by Jeffrey Lent. Now, you guys know I was at Booktopia a couple weeks ago, and the reason this one caught my eye is because it was set in Vermont, and I was in Vermont. And it just says, Katie Snow, 17, slips the pickup into neutral and rolls slightly out the driveway of her Vermont home, her parents, Oliver and Ruth, still asleep. She isn't so much running away as on a journey of discovery. She carries with her a packet of letters addressed to her mother from an old army buddy of her father's. Katie has only recently been told that Oliver, whom she adores more than anything, isn't her biological father. She hopes that the letter's sender will be the answer to so many of her questions. So I thought that kind of finding who yourself are, I've kind of been a little bit obsessed with books lately about people who realize that they aren't who they've been told they are. So they have to learn about themselves through others. So that is Before We Sleep by Jeffrey Lent. And that is the book haul from the gift card that my parents gave me. This is Miss Dorothy, and she is adorable, isn't she? And I thank you guys for watching my video. If you're new, please subscribe. Please comment below. Have you read any of these books? I'd love to talk to you about them. And I will be back next Wednesday with another video. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.